several different factors. One of them is the group homogeneous? Because to believe that the group is homogeneous can cause problems in the group process. It is important to recognize that differences can impact the group process, among other things. So Sophie Freud discussed the various identities that individuals have and how these can change over the lifespan. This is really where you're going to be pulling in your information that you learned in HIPC 1 about individuals to help inform you on how various ethnic and cultural groups impact development and family theories, because of course individuals make up groups. People of color. Now it's hard to get a balance of various ethnic groups in a rural community in one group, but we do need to recognize that if we don't have balance, that it can cause tokenism, and we want to be really careful of that. We don't want people to feel like they have to represent everyone of their particular cultural or ethnic background, and we also don't want everyone else in the group holding this person up as a representation of everyone else in their cultural ethnic background. Culture and communication. We need to be aware of different types of communication between ethnic and culture groups, between males and females, and also that this can be strongly influenced by society. Trust. Now, when individuals enter a group, they bring with them the experiences that they have experienced from the external environment, and this is going to impact their ability to interact with the other group members. They can also come in because of a lack of trust, thinking that no one else in the group has anything to offer them. Status and roles can sometimes mirror the larger society. So individuals bring to the table their external status and roles, and those have to be managed within this new group. Johnson & Johnson identifies several categories that are needed for a group to be effective. The first one is appropriate decision-making procedures. There is a process and that everybody knows what the process is. Johnson & Johnson believed that conflicts should be encouraged and then managed constructively. So we shouldn't try to squelch conflict and pretend that it doesn't exist and everything is all rosy, but they do need to be managed constructively, so they need to be worked through. That power and influence need to approximate equally through the group. So somebody or a smaller group within the larger group can't overpower the group, that needs to be distributed, and the group leader needs to be responsible for making sure that that happens. The group has to have goals. I don't know if you've ever been part of a group that you've gone to for several different meetings, and then you start to lose interest because it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. You just seem to be stuck doing the same thing over and over again, and there doesn't seem to be any movement forward. That's when the group stagnates, and it really becomes very ineffective, and you're going to lose members. Communication must be accurate and clear. So if somebody says something, that the other members know what this means, or that they have the ability to clarify and to make sure that there's not any hidden meaning in what is being said. And participation and leadership must be distributed among members. And so not one person can take over talking during the whole time, and that one person can't make all the decisions, that it really does need to be distributed among the members. The group cohesion needs to be high. People need to feel like they belong, and problem-solving adequacy should be high. So if there is a problem, there should be an effective way to handle the problem. The interpersonal effectiveness of team members needs to be high also, so that people can communicate. So when I was talking about earlier about the communication must be accurate and clear, that means that this is part of that factor, is that they need to be able to cue in on those various levels of communicating and be able to work through that and recognize those interpersonal behaviors. So we know that groups that are effective have goal achievement, that there is a maintenance of good working relationships among members, so if there is a falling out, that is able to be repaired, and that the adaptation to changing environmental conditions that allows effectiveness to be maintained. So when we talked about systems theory and also ecosystems, about the systems wanting to go back to that homeostasis, that they want to maintain the status quo, that's what this is that even though there are changes, that the group is able to adapt and work together in order to move forward.